Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome into another edition of the Right Side of Campus. It is Monday, November 25th, 2019. I am your host, the big man on campus. Here as always with our co-host, Donnie Rightside. Donnie, how you doing today? What's going on?
Good, man. Had some fun yesterday watching football. You saw some really good football teams out there, but also some puzzling performances by a lot of upper echelon quarterbacks yesterday, Jeff.
Yeah, that's actually well said by you. We'll get into that and more. We got a lot of recapping to do in the NFL. Recapping is great because it can really highlight or signify something maybe you didn't see that we saw to get you ready for another week in football. We also will, Donnie, take a look at some teams that were bounced out of the college football playoff discussion. One team, Donnie, I'm going to tell you right now, you better keep your eye on. I'll get to that. We got a lot of headlines, Donnie. We have so many headlines.
By the way, just to cut you off real quick, when you saw the headlines come out, I'm like, I hope Jeff has like one or two of these. I was like, this is going to be a fun show.
We have so many headlines that I actually kept some off because there were so many. So we'll get into all that and more. We also will break down Rams-Ravens. Should be a good game tonight in LA. And Donnie, we have one matchup out in Maui to take a look at, which we'll get to as well. Do want to quickly, Donnie, take care of some business early here. A lot of people saw it. Maybe you didn't. This is going to be the only show of the day going forward that we're going to be doing here. I'm not going to say that I won't occasionally do a college football show or something like that, but guys, I can't keep continuing to do those shows for free. I had to kind of make a decision on my own. I'm going to provide a lot of that for my website, my people that are paying for it. I love Ski Profit. We're actually going to, Donnie, think about getting him on here a little bit more frequently to do some NBA work with us during the show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, maybe. So, again, until we can find a comparable way, Donnie, to kind of get all this as one. I know you and I are both kind of always keeping our eyes open. We always have our email open for, possible opportunities that we can work together again in. You do your stuff, I do mine. You're doing your stuff with SBR. So you can always catch Donnie on SBR, catch him out on his website as well. But for me, guys, this is going to be the show, and Donnie will be here along the way. So, Donnie, this show ain't going anywhere, but the channel is going to make some changes.
Yeah, no, it's fun. We'll have fun, and we'll continue to do this daily. And as long as it's fun for me and you, that's what we're here for, right?
Exactly. I got to start freeing my day up a little bit more. I found myself, Donnie, doing shows at night, taking time away from my personal life and my family and stuff. And it's like, I got to be honest, guys, time is money. I'm sorry. I can't, everybody has a job. I can't continue to work for free, and I got to develop and devote my time to the people that are putting their faith in me. So, all right, let's get into the show, Donnie. What did we say? First of all, outside of sports, Donnie, how was your weekend?
I had a great weekend. I really did. I enjoyed myself Saturday, made a little bit of money on the Hurricanes losing to FIU, which was hilarious in itself. And I don't know. And I guess that stays with the same theme, Jeff. Miami figure in the last couple of games, hey, man, look at this, Jeff. Miami has a quarterback, man. He's really good. And out of nowhere, just maybe it was in the astrology, or maybe reading like into some of that. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think, Donnie. I tweeted you, I think, during the weekend, you were saying about you thought one quarterback was better than another, and I'm just like, well, virtually any quarterback in the country is better.
That was what I was saying. Like Malik Rozier, to me, Miami's had some bad quarterbacks, but Malik Rozier is the poster boy for get the hell out of school. I don't ever want to see you again. Yeah. And during that game, I was like, you know what? Malik Rozier throwing the ball into the stands as opposed to interceptions probably would have been a better function for Miami.
Exactly. We got holiday this week, Thanksgiving, one of the great holidays. We'll spend on Wednesday, I'm sure, some time doing a kind of an ode to our favorite Thanksgiving things. Listen, guys, we're probably not going to be here on Thanksgiving.
By the way, I got to say, if you have any time in the morning, you know what I mean?
We can maybe do something quick in the morning.
Because there's a couple NFL games. We might be able to have a little bit of fun. Everybody's off. We might do it. Yeah.
It'll be a different time. I know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can't do it at 10. Maybe 10 in the morning.
Early morning. Yeah. Yep.
But we'll do something.
Well, you know what we'll do, Jeff? We'll put a poll out on Twitter. Do that, and I'll retweet it, and we'll see what the people want.
Yeah, I think, again, we have loyal people here. I'm sure we can figure something out. But the rest of the days, Donnie, will be back to normal. We're not going to take off because we got Black Friday or anything, right? Get your fucking shopping done before the show.
Online, man. Just do it online while you're watching the show. How about that?
Exactly. And guys, I want to also say, if you enjoy this show, tell people about it. Okay. Go support any sponsor we get. Support what we're doing here. Support Donnie and I. That's one of the reasons I started a website, Donnie. I wanted to make some money off what I was doing. And if you guys want, to listen to college basketball stuff, come see my site. I gotta at the end of the day, I gotta take care of what I gotta take care of. So, support the show. Tell your friends about this show. Retweet it on Twitter. Now, we got to start pushing that more. You guys got to retweet this stuff.
We're getting that SEO. Don't worry, Jeff. We're going to get that SEO going on how to correctly do a couple things. Sure. The next thing you know is bing, bong, here we go. And it's good that's going to be like the centerpiece, right? You know where we're at, 1 o'clock. You don't have to worry about other shows.
Exactly. All right, let's get into the show here. We started out with some morning headlines as we do every morning or afternoon, whatever this is. It would be afternoon. Okay, starting and out, Donnie. We got, as I said, a lot of them. We'll start out with Friday night. Something happened Friday night, late night, that I kind of wanted to hear your opinion on. We've kind of talked about this before. Yeah. Marcus Smart, though, Donnie, was involved with a confrontation with a fan during the game. It was in the fourth quarter. He was basically going for the basketball out of bounds. He got his sneaker foot caught in like a kind of a chair or something. And a fan made a comment about stay on the floor and get on your knees, basically, to Marcus Smart. Listen, I've said before, these athletes do take a lot of shit from people. I know they get paid a ton of money, and I don't feel sorry for Marcus Smart. No one said anything about him personally, really. No one offended any of his family. But I do agree with Smart on one level. Donnie, I think in this country we have a problem, a lot of people with false bravado. They act tough because nobody's around. They act tough because they know it's not going to go very far. That's just how certain people are. They try to be tough, and when it comes down to it, they're nothing more than just like everyone else. I think some of these fans, if I'm Marcus Smart, you got to just let that shit go. But I do agree, though, they've got to do something a little bit better. They've tried to. But in this situation, I didn't really mind the comment. I mean, nothing was said about his family. Nothing was said about his orientation or his nationality or anything about him. Was it a something that the fan said that was kind of in poor taste? Probably. But I didn't find this to be a throw-out offense or anything.
No, and the thing that you want to bring up in this instance, which I don't know what was actually said. I read the article, and if that's what the guy said, which is a real, I don't even know what type of statement that would be, but this is the only sport that does this, Jeff. There are spectators untethered 1 foot away from basketball players. Where does this happen anywhere else? Baseball, what do you have? 30 yards, 15 yards between the people watching and maybe the closest baseball player. The NFL, same thing. Hockey has boards. Oh, you're asking for trouble when you do this. Why are they sitting courtside? 1 foot away where they jump into the crowd and blast in the 4 or 5 people, which we see all of the time. You allow earshot. They're inbounding the basketball, Jeff, where if you put your hand out 6 inches, you can touch the player. It's outrageous.
Yeah, I don't think, what fans are, it's funny, Donnie, because with these players, it's almost like you want this kumbaya atmosphere. You want everybody to love each other. Look, you're going to go to certain places. You're going to get shit from fans. That's how fucking sports is built. Rivalry.
Imagine if you could yell at Dak Prescott. Imagine if you reach out and touch Dak Prescott during a football game. It's unbelievable. They sit courtside. Why don't you put a barrier up? Why don't you take all the courtside seats up and you have to actually be in the stands itself a good 20 to 30 feet away from the game? It's amazing.
So you have an issue with the fan here.
I have an issue with fans being that close in general. Look,
sure.
when you play basketball, you're already ornery, right? You got this guy chirping in your ear that you can hear nonstop. And when you finally go over there to make a play, he adds even more. Maybe you're losing. Maybe you're not having the best day. Maybe you run into the guy. Maybe he spills his beer on you sort of on purpose. It's the only sport that invokes this. So you're a professional athlete. You're supposed to be above it, right? But we're human beings. You can't tell me that after a while, like, dude, get this guy out of here before I drop him. I can't fault the players, honestly.
No, I don't fault the players, but I also don't fault the fans. I mean, they pay to watch the game.
No, they do. And look, that's part of the home court advantage. I understand.
there's a slippery slope. Look, when you start getting into racial stuff and calling people's families stuff, like stuff like that's out of line. But like
in baseball, you can heckle all you want. And sometimes it's quiet. You sit in the outfield and right field, and you don't like Bryce Harper. You can yell at him where he can hear you. You know what I mean? But you can't touch him. You can touch him in the NBA.
Donnie, I don't talk about this often just because, it was kind of 10 years ago plus, and I don't really just don't talk about it. But if you went to Penn Manor High School in Millersville, Pennsylvania, Donnie, there were rules created because of me and my friends at high school games. You could ask anyone that graduated years later. Donnie, I was banned by the PIAA for a year and going to events. I mean, we were some of the meanest rival rowdy fans you could get. They changed rules because of the way we acted. I said things to refs Donnie during games, which I'll repeat now. I told refs many times, get off your knees, you're blowing the fucking game. Like I've done this sort of thing before, and I remember we had kids, Donnie, in high school. It wasn't me particularly. I had kids spitting other teams' water jugs. I remember we had a lot of shit that we did when we were younger. Do I think that was, looking back on it, do I think it was the way to act now? No, of course not. But I don't have a problem with this. I mean, but again, if this fan sees Marcus Smart on the street, make sure you're that tough on the street as well. If Mark, and this is not the first time that Marcus Smart has had stuff like this happen. Remember the Texas Tech fan back?
Oh, sure. Yeah. No,
I was at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Now it was funny because we vilified Smart. I didn't vilify him though. I thought he was in the right. If a fan said that kind of shit to me, I don't have fault. Do you fault Smart for doing that?
No, but I also would wish was it corroborated, because we've seen a lot of athletes lately, Jeff, making stuff up.
Sure. No, you're right. But either way, it's definitely an interesting subject. As far as moving fans back, that ain't going to happen. So. I know that's a lot. I mean, you're talking about guys that play, a few thousand a seat, man. Times that by 40 times. The NFL, they don't want to move those seats, but you're asking for trouble. That's all. I'd love to see Vegas Dave get into one of the players. Player that knocks the fuck out. Settle down, rotation. You're coming in.
What are we mad at?
Well, he's like flipping out. He's saying the N-word and stuff. Relax.
Oh, he's saying the N-word too? Jeez.
Yeah, relax, dude.
Oh, goodness.
Again, I keep that kind of crap out of here, okay? I should actually ban that word. I don't know why I haven't. Again, just keep that shit out, okay? Unless you're quoting like a movie or something.
By the way, Jeff, was that the real this thing we do upset with the show?
No, he wasn't upset with the show. He's upset. He doesn't like the subject. I think he's on my level. He doesn't understand why Smart's being such a bitch about it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right, let's move on. A couple other stories. Dwayne Haskins is in the news. I didn't put this in the game like breakdowns because I don't think anyone really cared about this game outside of these two fan bases. But I agree with you. I mean, Dwayne Haskins didn't necessarily have a great game. He was excited. I mean, we've seen this stuff before. I'm sure he'll get a talking to and got a talking to after the game. I thought it was kind of funny. The fact that the selfie was so well done. Did you see the picture?
It was good. It looked like it was like a movie. Yeah.
How many times do you take those pictures and it's like all people,
cut off, the smiles are waxed, somebody's picking their nose in the background. Yeah, perfect.
Somebody's eyes are closed. Yep. It's like it was well done by Haskins, I got to say. He's excited. He's a young kid, first season. But it was funny the way he acted. He kind of act like you've won before, as they say. It's kind of like the Ohio State fans running on the field the other day after the game. How brutal was that?
Tradition, Jeff. Tradition.
Oh, yeah. Right.
By the way, Dwayne Haskins, here's how I caught wind of this. So I'm watching as it goes down, and my initial reaction was, I'm looking, and I'm like, holy shit, man. That is so disrespectful what they just did to Case Keenum. Because when we all played sports, hey, second and third teamers, go out for the last 2 seconds of the game and take a knee or do nothing. Like you just want to be like part of the team. And I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. I was like, why would they say, like, this guy just won his first football game. He wants to take a knee, keep the football, hug it out with his team. What a tremendous thing. But I didn't understand what actually took place. I thought they just sent Keenum out there like, hey, you've been a good sport about not being the starter anymore. Why don't you go out there and take a snap during the regular season game? And then I see what happened afterwards. And it's not that big of a deal, but it's just professionalism. Like you stunk your entire, rookie year so far. how about you just finish the game and then go take a selfie and then head into the locker room? It was just funny the way, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thought the game was over. I don't. Who knows? Who knows these people? Deontay Wilder, Donnie. We don't talk a ton of boxing here, but Deontay Wilder again is in the news for a unbelievable punch. Donnie, I've often said, to me, the greatest sports moment, if I could create one for myself, would be to knock someone out like that. Like that's got to feel so awesome. And foreshadowing a little bit, I might get that motherfucking opportunity real soon, so stay tuned for that. But no, Wilder's he's kind of on.
By the way, hold on. Did his brother fight, Jeff?
His brother. No, the Ortiz kid.
What? Because I got a little bit, because again, I'm not the hugest boxing guy, but I saw like a Wilder name, but it wasn't his. Was it a relative fighting on the same card that also had a knockout, or did I miss something?
No, I want to say Ortiz's brother was on
I thought there was another Wilder for some reason, and I'm looking, I said, I don't understand this.
No, I believe Ortiz's brother was on the card. As far as his brother, I don't know of one that he. I mean, he might. I might be wrong. He might be in a smaller division.
Yeah, it said Wilder's brother got knocked out. That's why I was confused. I was like, oh my god, what a big upset! I'm like, wait a second, that's not the Bronze Bomber, is it? No.
Yeah, but either way, these kind of punches are huge, just because heavyweights are making a comeback. We haven't seen great heavyweights there. We finally have some. There's nothing like being knocked out like that.
No, that's why the heavyweights have always been the most popular division, because one haymaker is just outrageously fun to watch.
Sure. Yeah. Impressive stuff. He is he's an animal, that guy, man. He's a wild dude. You imagine seeing that, you're going in the ring, that's who you're going to fight. It's like,
yeah, exactly. And then it's behind it. It's not like, oh, I just see him from the first time. It's like when they used to get in the ring with Tyson during his first 15 matches. Like, I don't really want to be here, and I hope it doesn't hurt too bad. It's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, you always see, like, when they do the fights too, it's like they slow it down and you see the sweat just fly off.
And the jaw, like the entire jaw being shaken with the skin moving around. Oh my God.
Let me ask you, and I want a serious answer here.
Yes.
What is a dollar amount you would need now to get into the ring with Wilder? In obviously the rules of boxing.
Okay, it has to be so until he knocks you out.
No. Just 30 seconds, and he can do whatever he wants. 30
seconds, probably $1 million.
You do for $1 million
for 30 seconds? Yes. Yeah. I mean, maybe he catches you, maybe you get knocked out. I don't think you're not going to get in there just you have to at least get a couple days head start on, he's going to pick you out of
let's say you get a week to prepare.
Yeah, I'll do it for $1 million.
I would probably take it.
He would knock me out, but I would get $1 million for it.
But it's similar like gang initiation, really. I mean,
your adrenaline's going.
People do that for free.
He might break 2 of your ribs, but it's $1 million.
Yeah, I'm doing 100,000 or more.
Yeah, I'm doing $1 million.
Because you throw 100,000 cash in front of me, I'm probably doing it. I might be beat up for a while, but hey, it is what it is.
I'll tell you, the night before, you're like, oh, I'm going to get $1 million, but you're like, oh my God, I might die.
Exactly.
Because he's gonna set you're gonna get punched in the stomach and probably drop your arms a little bit, and then he's gonna crush your head.
I think, but again, we have to remember, Donnie, when Wilder fights, he's getting something out of that.
Yeah.
What is he really getting out of beating?
I don't know. Maybe the promoter says this is the battle of a lifetime.
No,
we'll give you $25 million to go beat this guy up for a minute.
Let's just say it was for charity.
Forget about even charity. Make it worth his while too. Then you're going to get $1 million, and they have escalators. If you knock Donnie out within 15 seconds, it's $30 million. If you knock him out in 30 seconds, it's $15 million. So he's going to come out and actually try to do damage.
Let me ask you, how long do you think it would take you to land one punch on anywhere on his body?
I wouldn't land. I probably wouldn't land any. I mean, maybe on just throwing you hit his arms like a shot. No, I'm not landing anything.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just worried about not dying. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You could this right here. He's still ringing the side of your head and shattering your brain. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God.
I got to be honest with with the level of destruction he could do to. like anybody. Just because he's on another level of human fighting.
Like, dude, Jeff, think of him full blast hitting you in the rib cage and then coming out and knocking the side of your dome. Like it's over, man. That's hospital stuff.
Yeah, and you never. Yeah, and the thing is, he could damage you for life.
That's what I mean. Ruptured spleen, cracked. Oh my god.
Like you could have CTE. You know?
Like you can't come out and like cover your whole body. Like he's ringing you, man.
Yeah, it would never be through liability. It would never happen.
No, because somebody would die. Yeah.
Now, Donnie, one other question. Who's one human on earth you would love to throw into the ring with him?
What do you mean?
Like someone you hate.
Person? Oh, man. I would have to think about that because I don't hate that many people, but I'm sure I could find some when I thought about it.
There's got to be someone you despise.
There probably is.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that as well.
You know what I mean? I have to pick the right one. You know what I mean? I would maybe tomorrow I'll come up with that. Who would you put in the ring?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. All right. Quick comment here. This St. Joe's mascot. We've talked about this before.
Yeah. What's this? What's he back in the news for? What did he do? Something stupid?
Well, the other day they did the counter like on the game.
Oh, how many times he did? He like flapped his wing.
And it made me think about this because we're not far from these universities. I've been to the Hagen Arena. And I find myself during the game sometimes like watching that guy or girl, whoever it is.
Yeah.
What would be your interest in ever doing that? Like,
I mean, it's a full ride, so you do get a scholarship.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's a full ride to have that job. Yes.
Because I feel like 20 seconds into the game, I'd be like, wow, what am I doing right now?
That's a very prestigious, like if you go to St. Joe's, if you can get that job. And it's not like, hey, you just do it for fun. You get a full ride scholarship. There's like an endowment that covers it.
Okay. Because it's almost near the point like torture, really.
Yeah, like while you're in public,
I guess
you have to keep doing it.
I guess I don't understand why though. Like, why not just have the mascot? Why does he need?
I think it was just one of those how can we make like a tradition that somebody, you know what I mean? Because it is when you see St. Joe's Hawk, that you do notice that. You don't really notice that with other mascots. They might mess around, but you always look over like that's got dude still flapping his wings. Man.
You went to college, Donnie?
Yes.
What would be would that be enough for you? Would you have did that for a scholarship?
Well, yeah, because I don't know about college, but let's just say if the Eagles needed a mascot and dude, we're going to pay you, $1,000 for every home game. You're going to be on the field watching the game, but all you got to do is keep flapping your hands. And I'm like a 19-year-old. I'm in, man. How great is that? Dude, front row, party. And all I got to do is this and I get paid too. Oh,
sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Odd comment by Rashawn Brown. Whoever had Epstein killed and how about Epstein himself? What the fuck are you talking about? What did Epstein himself? What? That might be the oddest, weirdest comment I've ever
Jeff,
seen.
what happens if you found they killed all the tapes, they killed all the audio and video, but then somebody found it and Wilder actually went into the jail cell, beat up.
Dude, not for nothing. I actually whoever killed Epstein is a hero, to be honest. Whoever had him killled? How about him himself?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'll tell you, Donnie, you know who I would throw in, honestly?
Who? Yeah.
Sandusky. That guy makes me sick. Even seeing.
Yeah, he wanted to get resentenced because he said it was unfair.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
they're like, thanks for wasting our time. Same sentence to you.
Keep in mind, when you're him, I mean, you have no op. You got to try anything, If he actually, dude, to be honest with you, the fact that Dottie Sandusky's on the street is a fucking joke. She should be in jail too, right along with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a guy I have some visceral hate for.
Yeah.
He makes me physically sick, to be honest.
Now that whole amazing culture was just outraged. Could have been stopped 30, 40 years ago, right? Nah, let it go.
Sure. And no, we're just as long as we win football games up here, that's all that matters. Because again, it's just football. It's not life or death or anything like that.
And the best part about so many people up there already had the hints and the suspicions and knew what was going on. It's like, no.
Well, I saw a report a couple years ago that they knew as early as the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. No, that's absolutely 100% correct. 100% correct.
Matthew Egan saying throw Martin Shkreli in there. Why Martin Shkreli?
Because he messed up the Wu-Tang.
I don't think Martin Shkreli's that bad a guy. He's a dick, but I don't like. That's interesting, Matt. Why would you say Martin Shkreli? Because I think Donnie Martin Shkreli is a weird figure because a lot of people think he's a lot worse than he really is.
Pharma bro, right? Is that what they call him?
Yeah, but he didn't really do anything. I mean, outside of defrauding investors, which if you ask him and you look at his actual business profile, he didn't really defraud.
His morality was more in question. Like, you make a good business move, and then you say, well, people need this drug, so I'm going to make it 500 times.
But again, keep in mind, they don't pay it. That's what people don't understand. Like, Darafrim is given to you if you have like insurance.
Yeah, but the insurance company has to pay it on the back end. That's what raises everybody else's insurance along with it.
Insurance is fucking
no, but it raises the price for everybody. That's the problem. Like, even if you don't need that the price of insurance goes up anyway.
It's interesting also, if you, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but if you go to the company that created Darafrim and put it out, Martin Shkreli would tell you himself that if you needed it, they would give it to you. It was more or less raising the price to the insurance companies. But yeah, again, I know why people don't like Martin Shkreli. I've heard it. You know, I don't know that
it's morality. That's why the hate comes in.
But again, Donnie, there's a lot of immoral people.
I know, but that's what everybody gets mad at these days.
Yeah, just all I'm saying, if you like or don't like Martin Shkreli, do your research on him. He's not necessarily as bad as
as Firefest guy.
Yeah, the Firefest guy's the worst. Then again, people don't necessarily care about Billy McFarland because he defrauded rich
kids. Yeah,
that people generally hate anyway, right?
Yeah, correct.
People hate Bernie Madoff. You know,
yes.
Bernie Madoff will tell you that he didn't defraud anybody. They all got paid.
Yep.
You know, they're sociopaths, a lot of them. All right, let's keep it moving. You're more mad that he has the Wu-Tang album. Well, actually, he doesn't. He actually had to sell it to pay off his lawyers.
See, there we go. Now it's a win. Yep.
Why did you hate that, Donnie?
What?
That he had the Wu-Tang. Why?
I don't know, because people didn't like the guy, and then they get mad that he stole something. I mean, it's steal it. I know he bought it.
He bought it. I mean, he had the money.
That's what people don't like.
I always remember, Donnie, when Shkreli did that video in his house where he had like those goons around him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, Ghostface, come fucking holler at me if you want it. Like, the guy.
Wall Street gangster, Jeff. We know there's a lot of people in Wall that'll say, hey, Wall Street, we got a lot of money. We can raise a lot of money. We don't have any money. How about that, Jeff?
No, there's a lot of people like that. Everybody's part of hedge funds nowadays. All right. One more story here. This is kind of a big talking point. And I just want 2 seconds here just to mention this. Harvard, Yale. Okay. This protest. Okay. I saw you and a lot of people commenting on it. Fair enough. I get that. I just kind of want to mention, I think, what their goal was. Okay. We can both agree what they did was illegal. It was probably in the wrong setting. I agree with you. But you have to realize those people that did that, the goal was exactly achieved as what they wanted. Okay. And I think as humans, I don't know why we would viscerally hate someone for raising awareness for something. Do I think it was in the right setting? No, I do not. But Donnie, the goal of the protest to me achieved exactly what they wanted. And good for those kids for going out and saying, you know what? We're going to possibly go to jail for this. We're going to be arrested for this. We could hurt our futures for this. But again, as any protester will tell you, I could sit at home and do nothing, or I could go out and try to make a difference somewhere. Climate change is a problem. I don't disagree that, I don't think these kids have the worst lives in the world. Do I think some of them are just doing it to be cool? I don't know. Do I hate the fact of what they did? No. I think it was something that brought awareness and it got people to talk about it. And I think if you can just do that, look at the business we're in, Donnie. The goal is to find eyes, right? To have people see us. Do I understand it? No. Would I have done it? Probably not. But they got what they wanted and they got what they achieved.
Yeah. I mean, my question here is do it before the game, do it outside, do it in the parking lot, do it somewhere else, because I'm all for freedom of speech. But if you hamper other people's plans because of your freedom of speech, I don't even care what you're protesting at this point. If I have to get to work and there's protests in the street protesting gun violence, I don't give a damn about gun violence. I will never support your cause because you're keeping me from getting to work. Football game. These kids in the biggest game of their life, keep in mind, Jeff, there's no lights at the Yale Bowl. Yeah. And they almost ran in the darkness. These kids are playing the biggest game of their life. They got to sit around at halftime because these, teeny bopper, good for nothing kids are on the field. Now, here's the reason why I don't like it at all. They wanted to divest in fossil fuels. They've been trying to do it since 2012, and they can't get it done. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're so upset with Harvard and Yale divesting in your student, what the fuck are you going to school there for? Because obviously they don't support what you believe in, but you're still going there. They're going to go back to their rooms, their air conditioning, with their heating, with their giant SUVs, probably take private jets to the islands, but yet they're going to come out and be like, let's do something really fun on a Saturday. No, don't do it during your class. We have to go to class. Don't do it where you have something important to do. Go do it on a football game on a Saturday because that's your fun time, and you go ruin it for others.
Keep in mind, we don't know what they do in their personal lives. I get your point. We don't know. I do agree, though. The setting was definitely in poor decision making.
Do it on campus. You know what I mean? There's places to be done. When you again, I get back to the athletes. And this wasn't, and Jeff, if they ran out and it was like a 3-minute protest, I'd be like, all right, hey, this is what it is. Over an hour?
Yeah.
They almost couldn't finish the football game, which had implications on winning the Ivy League that these kids work so goddamn hard for.
Not for nothing, dude. Like, it's a football game. Come on.
But then what are you doing? If I ran the university, I'd arrest them, suspend them, I would expel them, and I would throw them out immediately.
But you do realize this is like much bigger than football.
Okay, so let's flip it over here. I'm running onto the field at the Super Bowl with a sign. NFL is invested in fossil fuels. What happens to me? I probably do like 3 years in jail, terrorism, and what? But they're Yale kids. They didn't mean they were raising issues. Come on, man. Do the same thing as everybody else. That's terrorism. That's going to jail. That's being expelled, and that's having a permanent record. If you want to be a real protester, that's what you're getting when you run onto the field.
Well, you're not. You're going to get trespassing, and that's about it. But
no, you don't get. You don't get You know how much thousands and thousands of dollars of fines now.
You're not going to get terrorism charges.
Why would you not? You can't run onto the field. Dudes get tasered for running on the field. Why did they all get tasered?
I mean, the guy that called the bomb threat in, that could be terrorism. But yeah, listen, do I think it was the right setting? No, but I.
Or if you do it in 5 minutes, do it in 5 minutes, and then leave the field. No big deal.
Donnie, I got to be honest. If let's say they went to where was this game at? Harvard or Yale?
It's at Yale, in the Yale Bowl.
If they say, listen, hey, at the halftime, we want to go and do something here.
Yes, and I would have been fine with it. You could have kept it under wraps and told the university, we want to protest for 15 minutes at the half. We're going to run out there, and then we'll clear off. And this,
let me ask you know
what? Go ahead.
This actually happened in Lancaster about 2 weeks ago. It was a big story. At Franklin and Marshall, it's a college.
My stepfather went to Franklin and Marshall.
It's just under Ivy League. It's very good.
Correct.
Their basketball team's really good. Yes. Always has been. Glenn Robinson, great coach, a historical coach. Yep. 2 weeks ago at a game, Donnie, a group similar to this during the game walked out in the middle of the court, protesting Halloween. Some of the basketball team dressed up in very racial costumes. The coach ended up stepping down because of it, and they basically ran on the court and said, look, the fact that you guys are doing this and allowing it to happen and nothing happens because, and they basically protested that.
Difference, though, to me, Jeff. The basketball team did that, so they got interrupted for that. I don't mind that. You're protesting with these kids in football. It has nothing to do with it and your fellow students. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. But I will say their message, I think, was relayed. Now, does this message ever get anywhere? No, probably not, because it seems like the people that really matter in this country that can make those decisions aren't probably necessarily. I mean, according to the president, climate change is a farce. It doesn't exist. So is this ever going to get anywhere? No, but you know what it reminds me of, Donnie? You remember a couple years ago that Occupy thing?
Yes, Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, where it's like, you're all out here not doing nothing with yourselves, protesting something, living in squalor, but you have like an iPhone and like you're like, like now if all these students were completely off the grid and lived off like the land,
then you'd be like, that's respect. Like this kid goes to Yale and lives in upstate New York and doesn't use electricity or anything. I'm like, whoa. Okay.
Like I watched something the other day on Donnie, like these this. You ever see that? It's on NFL Network. The that Football Life, or I think.
Yes, sure, of course.
Well, they did one on a team in Alaska.
Yeah, the high school football team.
Barrow, I think it is.
Yes, correct. I watched it.
Like, awesome. Do you ever see how those people live?
That's awesome. I love that.
have any sort of dependence on the United States. Like now if those people started marching and saying, look, that makes sense. It's like, wow, they actually do live without like really anything that they eat like whale and shit. Like
and we can't even make a living anymore because the whales are gone because of what's going on in the world. Yes, I agree with that. But
now, Donnie, would you be okay if, let's say, this protest involved, let's say the Amish decided they were going to make the trek from Lancaster up to Cambridge and they were going to protest this? Would you have an issue?
No, I would have an issue with I would have an issue with the Amish.
Why? They live off subsistence.
Yeah, but this has nothing. They don't go to Yale or anything. Do you see what I mean? Like, why would you do it at a Yale game or a football game?
Because they're bringing awareness to climate
change. Local, like, rodeo or horse meeting or something like that, Come on.
The mud sale.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, exactly. Do it. Like, if I went up to buy my dog, which I did in Lancaster, like, if they wouldn't let me through, I'd be like, you know what? That's kind of respect right there.
Yeah. By the way, you bought it at, like, a mill or, like...
Yeah, Amish. I bought straight up Amish farm.
Okay. Did they have other dogs or just...
Yes, it's Greenfield Puppies.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. One other headline I wanted to bring up. You heard about that Kennesaw State player, Donnie?
No, give me it. What
the girls player?
Oh, I saw you tweet it. No, that's the only reason why I know.
Yeah, I got that news yesterday. It wasn't really like out there, so I wanted to bring it up. But yeah, Donnie, starting point guard, best player in the team, averages 22 points a game.
And this didn't just like happen on Friday night, right?
No, it happened in July.
That's what's crazy.
And she basically
no conscience. She has no conscience.
She's been charged with the murder of a man found shot to death in an Atlanta apartment complex earlier this year. She was arrested on Thursday on 8 counts, including murder, which 3 counts of felony murder, criminal attempt to commit armed robbery, aggravated assault. Basically, if she's convicted, she'll go to prison for life. The body was discovered on a parking deck of an apartment complex. It was a targeted shooting, which we don't know exactly who this person is and what his connection to her was. But at 37 minutes per game, Donnie, only one player on her team saw more time on the court.
It's outrageous because the reason why I included, like, was it Friday night? Because most people that do something heinous like that, if they're a normal human being, they age really quickly. They can't all of a sudden do their schoolwork. They're missing practices. They're like, somebody's on to me. This girl was so stone cold, Jeff. She did that in the summer. It's like, now I got to get ready for basketball and ball out. That's insane.
It would kind of be like it'd be kind of like if I shot 3 people
and then did the show. Like, yo, Jeff did the show right after. It was cool.
Yeah, it's like, yo, I think there are 2 type of criminals, Donnie, right? There are the low-level criminals that are sticking up gas stations and, beating people, like those kind of people. And then there's the sociopathic, demented people that, like, can kill somebody.
Like the Iceman, Kuklinski. Yeah, and they come home and take their kids to a movie.
Yeah, I mean, Richard Kuklinski was an evil person, John Wayne Gacy, evil, it's all these guys, and Donnie, there's also a certain level of criminal where you get to the point of like, you're killing women and children, innocent people. You have no regard for society, really. Yeah.
Gacy was the guy that was burying them all in his crawl space, right?
Sure. Young boys. Correct.
Yes. And who was the Bundy? And then the other one was Bundy. I'll tell you, I've like Netflix and stuff. I'm fascinated by that section of time with mass murders. Even they had the dude down in the Atlanta, Georgia area, the black guy that was killing all like black young kids. I'm amazed, man.
Gacy was particularly odd because he dressed up as a clown.
Yes. Yep.
And Kuklinski, there was Donnie Kuklinski did an interview on HBO years ago.
Yep.
Fascinating. Yeah. Fascinating. Just to look into his callous disregard for people. And they're different kind of human beings. They're not on the same level of all of us. They think differently.
Yeah.
There's no regard for.
I remember when I was a kid in the 80s, the big serial killer was the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. And I remember going to bed as a kid, like, ask my mom, is he coming tonight? Is he around? I mean, the guy was in California, obviously, but you don't know that really as kids. Like, I'm fascinated, absolutely fascinated by those diabolical crazies.
Yeah, some do it for sport, some do it for like legit reasons. Most of the people we're mentioning here were just, heinous.
Insanity, man. Insanity, pure.
All right, let's get into yesterday's NFL games. Donnie, the Browns put it together. This might have been the best game I've seen Baker Mayfield have. He was terrific. The offense was awesome. Defense didn't look particularly good at times. But again, they were without Ogunjobi and Myles Garrett, so you had to expect there'd be some issues. Over here looked like a pretty solid play. If you had an over, good for you. That was kind of my thing, Donnie. I picked every game. It was either for me. I thought Cleveland laying the points was a good play. I thought the over was a good play.
Yeah, I thought, because a lot of people also, Jeff, still clinging to like, oh, the Browns stink. And get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, they'll make their mistakes, but the cap on that football game that we had was correct. They ran a gauntlet, and then you take that deep breath against a team that can't defend anything. And I was like, OBJ is going to get a deep shot in this game. That happened right away. They rolled them up and down. But then you still had that little thing like, wait a second. You're going to tell me they're up 28-0, and all of a sudden it's 28-17. They're going to blow this cover. They were the clear better team. They did whatever they wanted in that football game, Joe.
Yeah, Donnie, not to go back to this mass murder thing again, but
yes,
you say you like this kind of stuff.
I love it.
You ever see that show Gangsters, America's Most Evil? It's on
I don't know.
Reels, I think.
Maybe.
There's one, and it's close to us, Donnie, here in the Philly area. There's a guy, Kabani Savage.
Philadelphia, you love that guy.
I don't love him. I've actually said, to me, he's the most demented human being I've ever studied.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was like, he was in prison and he would witness intimidate, basically.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing things like throwing fire bombs into houses with infants and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he was a callous, dangerous person. Like,
yeah.
The fact that he's like off the street is actually good for society. But yeah, I mean, those shows are good. Those like American Gangster was a great show back in the day. They took it off, but all those shows really good. Jarvis Landry was terrific. It's weird how we go in from like firebombing to Jarvis Landry
because he was fire.
He was good. The running game was terrific. Baker was very good. So it's only the Dolphins, but a very nice win for Cleveland. Raiders, what happened there?
Oh my God.
And I love how the announcers go, Derek Carr was pulled out of the game. Just like he was, like they were just worried about next week and they didn't want to get him injured. It's like, no, he was bad. That's why they pulled him out.
That was an odd game because I think the one thing we looked at coming in was now the Raiders are the hunted, so to speak, because they're in prime position to make a playoff spot when nobody thought they would. All of a sudden that heat gets turned up a little bit. I don't think anybody could say, I knew the Jets were going to blow them out. Nobody knew the Jets were going to blow them out like that. That's insane. And the fact that game, I didn't have a play on the over, which I really liked early in the week until maybe some weather concerns came in. And I still looked it down like, damn it, I still should have went ahead with it because it had like 38 points or whatever in the third quarter. But it was a forfeited fourth quarter. Like it was over. They just run the clock.
That was the weirdest outcome yesterday to me.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of those outcomes where you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Like, that's weird. Rough day for Oakland. Donnie, the Falcons pulled the wool over everybody's eyes.
Yes.
Come on, you and I kind of saw this coming.
Yes.
We didn't believe in the Falcons.
No.
The great thing about the Falcons is they have a good offense, but they're deep. You can't trust this defense. And I kind of fucked up here. I should have just took the overall over because did it come in the over? I think it did. I think it got to 55. But I took Atlanta's team total. I didn't trust that. It did. I think it got to 55-ish. The Falcons are 3-8. And they're a team that needs a top 5 pick pretty badly. And it's still not going to be enough because I don't know that they're going to get the player they want. Chase Young would be perfect for Atlanta, but they're not going to be the number 1 pick, so it ain't going to matter. Atlanta's offense is great, Donnie, but they've got to go out and fix that. I mean, that defense is horrible every season. It's hideous.
It seems like they always try to make changes and make moves, and defensive
coordinators
trying to switch things up. And you're right. We were saying somebody's got to revert this. The Atlanta Falcons all of a sudden didn't flip the switch and become like the most dominating defense, and they're going to start rolling teams. It was actually nice to see that because if they would have won again, I'd have said, how can you have a team that's the worst thing and quit to all of a sudden take a week off and recharge and be the best team in the AFC South? I'm NFC South. I'm glad it happened, and I think everybody was right on calling it.
Yeah, I didn't buy it. Nice win for Tampa. I know Vita Vea got a big touchdown. You don't see those often. Big boy
Godwin was a monster in that football game.
Yeah, he was. Good player, real good player. Yeah. They always have good offenses.
Yeah, Jeff, well, let me get you something straight with this. So they were able to draft Godwin. He wasn't a first-round pick. They get Mike Evans. Like, some teams can find wideouts, man.
Don't get me started. I'm going to go off that in a little bit. Actually, right now. I just want to set the tone to where we are in this town from a football perspective. Again, I don't want to hear about the Super Bowl. I'm happy we won a Super Bowl. Congrats. Great. It was 2+ years ago. It's time to move on, right? Well, it's not 2+ years. It's almost 2 years. Donnie, for me, it's more of my whole life issue of this team. Yesterday was embarrassing, okay, and for many different reasons. But a lot of it goes back to, Donnie, again, this team's inability year after year to scout talent. It's been like this since I was born. Donnie, the running back position, the receiver position, and the secondary outside of the safeties since basically the turn of the century have been complete failures. I mean, look at the running back position. Outside of LaShawn McCoy and Brian Westbrook, you've missed on that position time after time after time. And I don't want to hear, doesn't mean anything. It might not. But at the end of the day, this constant carousel at running back, we're going to keep you for a year and get rid of you. We're going to keep you for a year and get rid of you. And we're not going to invest in you, so you actually want to play for us, and you get pissed off. I mean, and then you bring him back anyway. The receiver position is at the top of the list. It has been abject failure. And this team's issues right now have to do with the fact that they have no interest in making it any better. I don't know who drafts in this town. And it's every team. The Sixers have the same issues. They can't scout talent. They don't understand how to scout it. Donnie, how come every team has like that receiver nobody knows, but he makes plays? How come the Eagles don't have any of those people?
Yeah, Greg Ward was your best wide receiver. The guy just signed up for practice squad.
You didn't play him all year until yesterday.
Exactly. No, you're right.
Great point by you.
And Donnie, also, the Eagles' philosophy is always like, and it works because you win. You know, you draft a lineman early. They never really fully invest. You want to fully invest in wide receiver, Jeff? Take one in the top 20. Take one in the top 25. Those are the premiums. Like, we're going to wait for that first level to clear, and then we're going to get a steal in the second and third round. Well, that's what you get.
And it's not just one thing, Donnie. It's year after year.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, this team, we know, Donnie, they've had some bad wide receiver groups with this group. Like, Torn Small and Charles Johnston, Nay Brown, James Thrash, Jeff Mayle, Billy McMullen, Josh Huff, Riley Cooper. I mean, they've had so many bad ones over the years. Yesterday's group might have been the worst I've ever seen.
For an NFL team, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Donnie, Matt Collins hasn't caught the football in 4 weeks.
Look, I understand, but you're also
amazing.
like, I mean, a lot of NFL teams would be in this spot this late in the year. If you're down your top 3 wideouts from opening day,
let me tell you,
it doesn't look really pretty, man. It doesn't.
Let me tell you something. It wouldn't make that much difference.
Yes, it would. They would have blown out the Patriots and Seahawks if they had Donnie, a healthy Aguilar, a healthy Alshon Jeffrey, and a healthy Deshaun Jackson. They'd have blown both those teams.
Let me tell you why they wouldn't have. Because your quarterback's not very good right now.
Yeah, but he would be very good when guys
Donnie,
are wide open.
You could have put Julio Jones out there yesterday. He missed throws.
When you drop back to pass, knowing 3 of your best offensive linemen aren't playing, none of your starting wide receivers are out there.
Get it.
You are going to get happy feet. It doesn't matter who you are.
But there were significant issues with him underthrowing people.
He was bad. No, he was bad yesterday.
That was the worst. Bad. You got to admit, he's looked the last couple of games. He's looked really bad
because he doesn't have anybody. You know what I mean? And again, it's not really an excuse.
There's always an excuse.
Now hold on. No. Here's the real deal. You came out of the bye week with nothing on your team. You played maybe the statistically best NFL defense of all time in the New England Patriots. What were you supposed to do? The next week after playing that, you get the Seattle Seahawks, one of the best teams in football, off of a bye week, again with 0 weapons, and now nobody on your offensive line. Nobody's going to look good in that spot. Nobody.
And this is why right now I really hate this football team because they knew all this and didn't do anything.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. That's the abject issue. Yes.
Jannard Avery, is he on this fucking team? Did he even play yesterday? He was inactive, Donnie.
Was he inactive? I didn't see the inactive reports. He was inactive? Great.
He didn't play a snap yesterday.
Yeah, but was he active though? Was he on special teams at least, or was he inactive?
I have no idea. All I know is he didn't play. Donnie, the actual disregard to the fan base is maddening to me.
Yeah.
They don't do anything to fix it. You knew your player since week 1 was not healthy.
Yeah.
He's 32. What did you expect? As you said, what did you expect was going to happen?
Exactly.
And that's why for me, like, I don't hate Matt Collins. He's not a football player at this level, but they throw him out there anyway.
Like wide receiver is a prideful position, Jeff, meaning like you're supposed to win your route and catch the football. I can't imagine if number one, they're like, dude, Mac, you're like the fourth option and you stink anyway, so you can't get open. I don't even know what he does out there. Does he get excited? Like, like, I don't know, if you're playing a sport back in the day, like I would like be in the huddle and they would be like, all right, so-and-so, right overall, Z motion, 16 lateral toss or whatever. And I'm like, that's my play over the middle. Oh my God, I can't wait. Like, does Matt Collins never get that call? He's like, what? Like, my job is to run this guy off because you send your worst receiver just to have a runoff pattern. Like, dude, run 40 yards real fast and hopefully a corner chases you. Man, he's got to have no life, man.
I mean, I love the Eagles I love the Seahawks yesterday. I was all over it. Like, they're not prepared. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you think they're going to go beat Miami with this team,
they are.
They're coming as well.
No. I'm telling you, right? They're going to, as long as they get Lane Johnson back and Alshon Jeffrey to stand out there, they're going to win this week. And I'm telling you right now, they didn't get healthy out of the bye. Their players will return. They're going to win 5 straight games the same way I predicted before the season. I mean, they have the easiest schedule. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL. Jeff, they're going to play teams like Kennesaw State is what it's going to feel like. You just watched the Eagles over the last 3 weeks play elite. At least like Chicago Bears are an elite defense. They won that game. Thank God. They got injured. They played the best defense on paper in NFL history right now. The Patriots. Last week, you held 17 points to Russell Wilson. Their defense is healthy. Their offense gets a few pieces back. They will run the table and win the division.
Donnie is one of these. I'm just going to see the light through.
No, there's no light. But Jeff, you have the Redskins, the Giants twice, the Dolphins, and the Cowboys at home.
That's fine. You might win the games, but if you actually honestly bet,
no, they're not winning the World. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
No, if you bet them to win by more than a touchdown this week, you're fucking crazy.
Jeff, the Dolphins are bad, man.
So are the Eagles.
No,
this offense is horrific.
They're not. It doesn't matter. You're getting the worst team in the NFL.
And that offense over this one.
Well, this isn't Tannehill. You're not taking Tannehill.
We're not Tannehill. Fitzpatrick, I meant.
No, you would not.
Yes, I would. Yes, I 100% would. This offense is horrid. Horrid.
Yeah, but you're going against the 32nd defense in the league next week. The Eagles are going to end up putting up the high 20s, man. In the high 20s and win easy.
They're horrid. What team are you watching?
Jeff, you don't have any players. They're going to get players back.
They're not that good with those guys.
Yes, they are. They are fine with those guys.
Season of his career.
So what? Stand him out there. He's better than anything they have. No team in the NFL down their starting running back, 3 of their offensive linemen, and all 3 wide receivers would do anything against teams that are 9-1 and 9-2. Nobody's doing that.
Good luck. I hope you win. I don't see it though. I don't. I don't know what team you watch. I mean, no offense.
They're going to play, Jeff. They played 2 of the best teams in the NFL. They all lost by 1 possession in both games.
Seattle was very poor yesterday.
That's because the Eagles' defense is really good now. They're healthy. They're really good on defense now. Look at the last couple of games the Eagles played. Now that they're healthy with a secondary, teams aren't doing anything.
I love fans like Donnie because
I'm a realist. They held the last 3 teams under 17 points. You win those games with an offense.
That's true. Ryan D'Amico, who is a lot like you as a fan, he's always positive and everything. He made the same comment. They only lost by 8. What they scored 30 seconds. Like, give me a fucking break, Donnie. They were in prevent defense. It was 17-3 the whole time. Eagles shouldn't have scored a touchdown. You know that. Stop making it out like they were.
It has nothing.
Donnie,
you have to be a realist. You have to be a realist. I'm telling you right now, if Alshon was out there, if Djax was out there, they blow the Patriots and the Seahawks out both games by 14 points or more.
I don't agree with that.
Why would you not agree? They have nothing on offense and they hung around.
Maybe I'm wrong here, but
Lane Johnson is the best right tackle in football. If he plays, they ain't bum rush in the pocket.
I know. Maybe I'm wrong here, but didn't they have all these guys against Atlanta?
No, they did not. They had nobody against Atlanta. They had them for 1 game, and they look like they're going to set the world on fire.
Deshaun Jackson's not coming back.
I'm saying he doesn't. I'm saying if you just put it in, like they had their normal offense ready to go, the Eagles were blowing everybody out.
Outside of Deshaun, everyone's back this week.
They would have the best offense in the NFL if they were healthy. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if you've watched Carson, but okay, go ahead.
Dude, and you watch anybody, Jeff. You watch
this team is bad without
if we take what we saw yesterday, right? Dak Prescott should not be starting in the NFL. He was horrendous. Aaron Rodgers, it's time to Aaron Rodgers, it's time to trade.
But I'm going off this whole season. They're not a good football team.
They don't. They're not. You're right. You're absolutely right. The Eagles are not good enough to win a Super Bowl. I agree.
They're not good enough to win us a playoff game.
They're not good. You're right. You're absolutely right. But they are good enough to win the next 5 games because they play trash. You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're winning anything.
Let's make a friendly. Let's do something fun. Yeah. Donnie, you realize how bad they are. Like, not all those guys are coming back either.
But I don't think you realize how bad the football teams they're going to be playing.
That's fine. You know what the only game that matters is, though?
What?
The one that the team's much better than you are. That's all that matters.
But they don't have any of that the rest of the way. That's what I'm saying. They're done their tough part. Dallas at home. Matters. Yeah, put Dallas in 32-degree weather. See what they look like. Stink.
Okay, what do you want to bet? Let's have some fun with this.
I will bet you that the Eagles win. The Eagles are plus 150 right now to win the division because they're a game back. We'll do it, man. $100, just $100.
Oh, I'm good with that. Let's do that.
All right, done.
So you have the Eagles win the division. I have Dallas.
Yeah, correct. That is the bet.
You might as well send that money now.
Plus 150. Like Dallas might not even win. Dallas going to win Thursday night because that's an unfair advantage. But Dallas has a tough schedule, man.
Listen, you know what we should do also? We should go to the game. That Sunday night game. Is it Sunday night?
Is it? I hope it's a Sunday night game.
I think it is. We should go to the game. We'll cheer it in.
The Eagles have the easiest schedule in the NFL to close the season. It's the easiest.
Donnie, I don't care if they play Mississippi Valley State the rest of the way.
Because it matters who you play.
But the only game that matters is the last one. I don't care if they play, junior out of college the rest of the game. Yeah. The only game that matters is that game against Dallas, the last game of the season.
Yes, that's gonna decide it. And the Eagles have it at home, and the Eagles will be favored. So I'll take it.
And they'll lose. Listen, man, I get it. Good for you. You could be rosy and you could be happy about this team.
If they put it this way, if the Eagles win out, they win the division. It doesn't matter what Dallas does. If the Eagles win every game, doesn't matter what Dallas does.
But again, the only game I care about is the last one.
It's actually not the last one. It's the one after it
right now. But hey, I hope you're right. I do. Mm-hmm. But again, you're really just papering over the cracks. Let's say they do win the division.
They're not winning a play. Well, actually, no. They might win the first game. They might win a playoff game because
I'm talking about. Yeah. Let's not even worry about what happens this season. Okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Donnie, we are looking at this team as a whole. What that stuff does, like last year going to the playoffs and stuff, it papers over the cracks that are long-term and chronic with this team. They still have...
But everybody has those issues in the NFL.
Sure. Yeah. But no one has the issues that this team has that are magnified over 30 years. The failures in the draft, the failures in assessing talent.
Well, you hope they would overcome it, but it's hard to win a Super Bowl. It's hard to win a couple playoff games,
But in 30 years, it's always been a chronic issue. Even the year they won the Super Bowl, they did it with Nick Foles. They did it with, guys that weren't. I mean, the defense wasn't any good.
The defense was unbelievably good that year. What are you talking about? They only had one bad game, which was against the Patriots.
Super Bowl. What happened there?
Well, I mean, that was a shootout. You're gonna not every defense gonna have a great performance every week.
Right.
They were awesome against Minnesota. They were awesome against Atlanta in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, fair enough. I mean, it's 1 or 2 games. I'm not looking at it actually as a whole. I'm looking at it as from a team standpoint. They are not good at assessing talent, and right now is a clear example of that. Quan White, just this fucking upset. Get over Tennessee sports. You're so weird. Who gives a fuck about Derek Burnett? Derek Burnett hasn't done shit in weeks. What the hell are you talking about? He won him a Super Bowl? What fucking game did you watch?
Jeff, he recovered the fumble.
Super Bowl. Yeah. I am so tired of his dilution. Like, we get it. You like Tennessee, dog. We get it, dog. Like, you like them. Get the fuck over Tennessee. Derek Barnett 1 year. What has Derek Barnett done in the last 4 fucking weeks? Nothing. He's a stiff like everyone else in that fucking defense and on that offense. They're stiffs. The only reason they didn't give up a ton of points yesterday is because Seattle shot themselves in the foot time after fucking time.
Because that D was legit, boy. That D was coming. What do you have, 5, 6 sacks in that game as a defense? Eagles? Forced 2 turnovers. D was playing yesterday.
listen, Donnie, Jim Schwartz, I think's married, by the way. I don't
he
think
is. He is a damn good defensive coordinator.
Imagine thinking he's a damn good defensive
He is. You saw the tweets yesterday. Gotta be a head coach if anybody wanted defense.
Good.
Anymore.
Go the fuck away.
No way.
That would be great. Get him the fuck out of here, please. He is a complete loser, like the rest of that fucking team. Good. Get him the fuck out. That would be so great. Then we can bring in a good young mind that actually coaches. It doesn't play this bullshit defense.
He's a top 5 NFL coordinator, so I don't know why you would want that dude to leave.
He's a loser. We need Jim Johnson or that kind of guy. Old guy or real young guy.
I love Jim Johnson, but when he played a good quarterback, they torched the.
Give me Rob Marinelli, baby. My man. All right, last story. The Packers-Niners. How about this game?
Wow.
Niners get you believing again. I jumped off the train a little bit, but
yes, you did. Get back on it, man.
Well, how could I not? I'm week to week in this.
Dude, like, what's the only thing that can stop? What's the only thing that can stop the 49ers? Forget that. I'm not talking about injuries. I'm talking about like team. Like, what's the type of team that can stop the 49ers?
Like a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you have a luck box mobile quarterback, man, go.
That guy up in Seattle.
I'm telling you, he's the luck box. And by the way, Jeff, the way you run NFL
luck box yesterday with Seattle. By the way, I had Seattle.
He had a couple nice throws on third down, but like, why in the NFL? I think these teams like Pete Carroll have finally figured it out, right? With the mobile guys on third and anything longer than 6. Why aren't you just throwing that fade route 40 yards down the field? Because one of two things happens, right? You get a big play, they intercept it, which would be no big deal. Or it's your play guy makes a one-on-one type situation move. Like the fact that you don't go deep on every third down in like 6 or 7 is ludicrous in the NFL. It really is.
By the way, I want to say one thing you mentioned about if certain players played for the Eagles yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean this, if Seattle doesn't have 13 or whatever penalties, they win that game blowout fashion. Like
the Eagles don't turn it over, they win too. So
penalties, but that's been a chronic issue though. Like Carson's got to wait. Like, I hope he gets some players back. I do feel bad for the guy. I mean, you're literally throwing. How many years have we said that? Remember McNabb? I mean, he never had any weapons.
No, but how about Carson's rookie year when he had like Dorial Green, Beckham, and who else did he have? Another
Josh Huff.
Josh Huff was on that team. Who else? The kid from Cal. Who's the kid? The fast kid from Cal.
Bryce Treggs.
It's
brutal. Remember this guy, Damaris Johnson?
Yes, I mean, dude, listen to the guys that Wentz actually had when he's trying to be like advance in his rookie season. He's got Dorial Green Beckham as his number 1.
If you one of the most laughable things on the earth is just looking at since I've been born, 89, the complete losers that have been here as receivers. Like it's
homegrown. Yeah.
No, even free agents. Like the only 3 receivers they've ever succeeded on were Terrell Owens for a year, Jeremy Maclin for a few years as well. He was always injured, and Deshaun. Yeah. Outside of that, they have never brought in a quality receiver. It's amazing.
Going all the way back to Chris T. Jones.
I look at other receivers and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, to make a play. Whenever I watch another NFL football game and a wideout makes a play, like I really like, if I wish I had Carson Wentz's phone number, called him, I'm like, do you see that wideout just make that play right there? Like you never see that when out here. Like a 50-50 ball, Jeff. 50-50. Like, oh, nice play. And then, never.
And then I looked yesterday, Donnie, at did you see who caught the touchdown for the Seahawks?
What, the deep ball over the flea flicker?
You know who that was?
Was it DK?
No.
Who was it?
Guess again.
It wasn't Lockett.
That's the point. You don't know.
Yeah.
Malik Turner, Donnie.
Yeah, come on, man. Yep.
David Moore.
Yeah.
Why don't the Eagles have those guys? They don't even have those guys.
Now, you know what Russell Wilson does have the advantage? Russell Wilson throws the best, most catchable ball in the NFL, and that does say something of how good a quarterback he is. Like that pillow. You know, you having to catch with like your dad or your friend, like that one dude that just throws that like pillow. Because in college, Jeff, I had a quarterback that it was very accurate, but didn't have a strong arm. And I love to warm up with the guy. I loved when he was in the game because I knew if I ran like a 7-yard slant, that ball's coming nice and soft. I had this one dude that was a transfer in from Coffeyville, which is a junior college in Kansas. Yes. He was an amazing talent. He threw rockets no matter what. And it would be like late October, early November. Like, dude, I'm not warming up with you, man. Like he had only one speed and I hated it.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
I will say Wilson, he was pretty poor yesterday. He made some big mistakes.
Yeah, how about that one throw in the end zone? Did he Tyler Hollister just airmailed it? Unbelievable.
Dude, I'm sitting on Seattle. I'm like, are you?
He could have run, Jeff. He could have walked it. He could have run it, just walked right in the end zone. He could have just lobbed it, touchdown, over.
Donnie, if they score there, it's like I knew the Eagles weren't scoring 17, so it's like I'm good. Two other things, real quick.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that tackling attempt by Ronald Darby?
Oh, on
what
Penny.
the fuck was that?
Yeah, it's good.
That's just what this team is, right there.
No. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm just going to tackle his legs at the 9-yard line to give us a chance, he's like, let me just run into him and see what happens.
Yeah, this is actually a great comment here. Didn't the Eagles trade for DGB? Yes, they did, actually. Another great idea, Donnie, because they, as usual,
yeah, but what was like a 7th round? Yeah. What the hell was that?
No, they traded Dennis Kelly, actually. And Dennis Kelly's actually a starting lineman for Tennessee. And Donnie caught a touchdown pass yesterday.
Yeah, he's all right, though. I don't mind that, though.
He's way better than Vaitai, dude. Like, way better. Vaitai shouldn't be on the fucking field. He's horrible.
How about Dillard getting his... How about I read him a coaching staff, and I don't know if we talked about the same quote on the show. Like, we're just going to put Dillard at right tackle, and they asked Dillard directly, like, well, what's it feel like to go from left tackle that you're playing well to right tackle? And he's like, think of it like this: you have a huge essay to write, and they make you write it left-handed. I'm like, oh my god, and he got benched.
And then they bench him. They actually benched Dillard for that.
Jeff, in one, I don't even understand. It's almost like saying you are a UPS delivery driver. Next week, you're going to drive on the opposite side of the road with a backwards route, and you have one day to get ready for it. And you're like, wait a second here.
And it's with FedEx instead.
Yes, exactly. And then you crash, and you're like, well, what did you expect me to do?
I'm telling you, Donnie, Doug Peterson has been horrific.
We're just going to put you at right tackle as a rookie. Like, it's hard enough, Jeff, as a rookie, just getting your plays right, your signs right. And it's not like just saying, like, well, you're going to play on the left wing or the right wing. Like, you have to have a different kick set that you've practiced 100 million times. And they're like, all right, you're going to do it on the opposite side.
Call a spade, Donnie. Doug Peterson has been horrible.
The offense doesn't look good.
Person, everything. All right, Donnie, we got to speed it up. I got to do a call at 2:15.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time here. All right, let's go to this game tonight. Rams and Ravens.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, I like the underdog in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Rams, and if I could, and I love the Ravens. I've said that before. I think they're the best team in the NFL. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. But I want to say this, Donnie. If I had an issue with the Ravens, the one would be the interior of the offensive line. Bozeman, and I believe it's Shkreli, I believe.
Well, Yonda's the right guard. He's sensational. That guy's been really
I think it's Yonda and it's Shkreli and Bozeman are the guys I'm kind of highlighting here. I worry about the interior.
Yeah, the center and the left guard.
Did you see Joey Hunt yesterday for Seattle, Donnie? I mean, he got destroyed by Cox.
Fletcher Cox ran him over. Yeah, sure.
I shouldn't have said he got destroyed by Cox. He got destroyed by Fletcher Cox. He did, though. He was bad. That's what I worry about tonight with Donald. And I think that could break down the pocket because, as you know, Donnie, and we talk about it all the time, it's all about the trenches, as they say.
Yes, correct.
And I think the trenches are interesting tonight because I actually don't love the defensive line for the Ravens. It's good. It's not great. I think
a couple of key injuries. They had some key injuries on that line.
I think the battle of the trenches tonight will be won by the home team. I believe that. And I think if you can give Goff some time, you're going to get Cooks back. You've got a Gurley. You're at home here. I know that that's not a great place to play, but I also like the defense. I think they've improved since they brought in Jalen Ramsey. I actually really like this spot for the Rams. I really, really do.
Yeah, looking at Bet Online, Jeff, 47 they have as a over-under and also 3.5, which is a nice level to get that hook. I did a video earlier today putting out a certain play, but I think you're on to something because the same way we look at the Eagles and you say, well, how can we really tell what they really are? Catch this out, Jeff. In games where the Rams had their 4 top guys, and what I mean by that is healthy, Gurley at running back and the 3 wide receivers. So we're going to go with Cooks, Kupp, and Woods. All ready to play. When they've all played together this year, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 6 times, 30.5 points per football game when they all play together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're at home.
So you don't get road. It's not road Goff, which everybody talks about. Oh, he struggles really way at home. You're not going to get bad weather. He's not going to be in Pittsburgh with 40 degrees and winds whipping around. What are you going to get in LA, Jeff? 74 degrees and 1 mile an hour wind, if that.
What do you have here? You're getting a 3.5 with a team that the public loves. The public loves the Ravens. The Rams are kind of, they're still alive. They're around. You talk about a team that's not really noble on anybody's radar. You have an innovative coach here. You have a guy that isn't going to get extremely outcoached by the opposition. McVay's a good coach. I actually really like the rate.
And also, Jeff, other things too, because when you're looking, I still think Baltimore's going to score. Baltimore's really good on offense. But you're talking about, if you just look at like Pro Football Focus, they have the Rams as the number 2 overall defense in the NFL. Yeah. And if you look at the Ravens, Jeff, 18th.
Yeah, no, this is an interesting spot. It really is. Do I think they can win? Honestly, I do. I'll take the points, though.
By the way, for an NFL game that, like last night, disappointed. We thought we'd get a good football game out of the Green Bay Packers, and it was San Francisco. It was actually fun to watch San Francisco in a way, but you get a really good game. This is a fun game to watch tonight because you have some progressive teams. Talking about like the Ravens, Jeff, they go for it on 4th down. One of the most fun players to watch in football, Lamar Jackson. I'm really looking for, like, if you're a fan of the NFL, we talk about getting clunkers. This one shouldn't be a clunker, man. It should be a lot of fun.
No, it should be a good game. We've had some good. I mean, last night's game was horrible. I didn't spend much time in it at all.
Within like a minute, the game was over too. Like I'm settling in, and I see like the strip sack fumble and a 2-yard touchdown. I'm like, oh, here we go, man. Jesus.
Well, I'm rewatching Sons of Anarchy, so I just started watching that.
Like, watch a little Ray Donovan. It was a good night.
You ever see Sons of Anarchy?
I have not. No.
Good show.
Yeah.
Top 3 show ever to me. Love it. Jax Teller is my man crush for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Love him. All right, we got to go. I'd love to stand a little bit
fun,
longer.
though, man. Look, this is what we do now. Catch us here at this time, 1 o'clock, and we'll get down and have fun.
Yeah, and obviously some shows as we go on in the week, we'll do a little bit more with some other things. And we didn't get to college football today. Maybe we
had great topics. There was 2 good topics today, though.
By the way, one other comment. I get the feeling the Eagles players don't really care for Wentz. Might explain lackluster receive. It's been like this forever, dude. They don't put weapons around. They didn't put weapons around McNabb either. I mean, this is a problem they have. But I do agree with one thing he's saying there, Donnie.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like Alshon Jeffrey wants to play for this team. To me, Nelson Aguilar all of a sudden has some random injury. That seems like I'm not real ready to play, so we're going to just say I'm hurt when I'm really not. And Jordan Howard, it seems like he's been upset with his role.
Jordan Howard, the toughest guy on the team, right? Jeff, only with the Eagles, 4 weeks, his stinger. Jeff, guys get over a stinger in 2 plays.
First of all, Alshon, I'm going to tell you right now, was the snitch. Definitely.
Of course he was.
And to me, doesn't look like he wants to play for this team. In my thought, I don't think any of those 3 do. To be real,
I think Aguilar really does because he knows he's not going to get.
Well, exactly. He's like certain people in the gambling industry down that continue to get jobs where they know they're not good enough for.
Oh,
they're just going to do anything they can to just stick around so they don't get axed. Yeah. That's Nelson Aguilar right now.
Oh.
All right, I got to go. I got to go do a call with EC Radio. What do you got going on today, Donnie?
I'm just going to hang out, maybe hit the gym a little bit, start prepping for next week in football. I love it, man. I'm excited for the game tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Also, before we go, guys, do me a favor. Go check out Bet Online. Donnie, I'm going to be real. I think Bet Online is the best offshore book in the business. They've been originators for a long time. I mean, they're going to put out lines.
Jeff, we actually know people down there.
Sure.
How about
Dave
that? Not faceless. Yes.
Yeah, Dave's a terrific guy.
Met him in person many times, man.
Yeah, terrific guy. If you're an early bettor, you want to get ahead on Monday night.
That's what they do.
Sunday football,
First
college football.
Lines.
Bet Online's got you covered. I put a link in the description. Go check out Bet Online. Even if you're just looking to get started again with them or get back into the game.
And also, Jeff, with Bet Online, with Dave Mason, he's available on Twitter and answers your questions. And if you have a problem, DM him. He will get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, really good guy. They do a nice job down there. Yep. They're going to get you paid. They're going to get you taken care of. Go click on the link. Get back started. If you're just looking for a new book, you want to get back into it, whatever. I know a lot of you don't have the luxury of betting legally. At least in a sports book in the United States. So go check out Bet Online. Good people down there.
Get that Christmas money.
Yeah, and shout out to all the people behind the scenes down there. They're always very nice. Their affiliate people are very cool as well. So go check out Bet Online now. Their slogan, Donnie, because you can.
You're damn right you can.
All right. I love their by the way, their horse racing stuff's very good also. Have a lot of the daily racing forums and stuff up, and that kind of thing. So, all right, we're out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Have a great day. Bye-bye. And motherfucker.
It always takes